Hey there, students and families. My name is David Pokovitz. If I haven't met you before, I am the Director of Students here at Park Near North. That means I oversee the ministry to 6th through 12th grade students. And our desire is obviously to lead and love students to become fully mature disciples of Christ. And I just want to come at you with a quick update on our Sunday morning junior high gatherings. As you guys know, about a month ago, we transitioned into having one service for our congregation. And with that, it allowed us the opportunity to kind of go back to the whiteboard and see what is working, where are we missing the mark, and how can we leverage the next season of ministry to best engage with these students and lead them and love them as Christ would want them to be loved. And so these effects won't be going in for a couple weeks, but I wanted to make sure that you had plenty of time to adjust your kind of rhythm of life and your calendar, and as well as answer any questions or you have any concerns to be able to voice them and that we come to resolve together. But without further ado, I'm just going to kind of jump into the slide deck, kind of work through it. And as always, feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions about any of this. So without further ado, our current rhythm is within the 10 o'clock service, where we meet with students throughout the entire service. And although we have 75 to almost 90 minutes now, the first 15 minutes is always cut short just because students always kind of take some time to get there and get settled. And we want to make sure that they get settled before we start anything. And it always starts by having an experience together, which normally comprises of games, but sometimes it will be a worship experience or even team building activities. We really long for students to engage and experience things together. And then we go into a corporate time of teaching where we open up God's Word. We currently are going through a series about what it means to be canceled and what is our response to cancel culture. And so we go through God's Word and teach through that, but that's always done from the stage, and we really try to identify what do students need to learn during the season. And then we always finish our time in small groups, and this allows students to kind of reflect on what they heard and then kind of take the application out of it and discuss it together and allow them to even grow in accountability as they're kind of growing into these interpersonal relationships in this just formative junior high age. So some things we noticed about this is although we love our gathering and what it provides for just a normal rhythm for our students, there's a few things that just kind of are lacking. Number one, community is not a driving force. And it's not that we don't create spaces for community, but it's really the time doesn't allow the next freedom and flexibility for strong fellowship to be created and to create these vulnerable students where students can really be known and really respond in love and grace to each other. And so we want to leverage that with whatever change we are going to moving forward. Secondly, serving is not an option for many of our students because we are now confined to one service. It's no longer you can go to a student service and then serve, but you actually have to choose going to the student service or serving. And we just hate that students have to make that choice. And so we love when students serve. That's actually one of our kind of core values within student ministries. We want to encourage students to serve. But they're not really allowed that opportunity. We also see that there's not a lot of time for families, so we kind of get separated into our various learning environments. Parents normally go upstairs and the junior high students stay downstairs, and we just think that's a miss. It doesn't really allow a lot of conversations around your dinner table or on the ride home, and we want to really allow those to happen more. Because we think that's just as informative as us meeting with your students and teaching them. The last thing is we just see the capacity of our leaders. They don't really have a lot of opportunity to attend service because they are so deeply ingrained into our weekly rhythm right now where they serve on a consistent basis every single week. And so we want to allow them the opportunity to interact with the larger congregation, to grow in the service, and our current model and rhythm does not support that. So as we brainstormed through these things and kind of went back to the chalkboard and said, all right, what do we want to make sure is going to be true of the junior high ministry on Sunday morning? Wednesday night will stay the same. The 606 will still be a place where we are devoted to teaching and growing in God's Word. But what do we do with this Sunday morning? And this is what we came up with. And this is the new rhythm. And it kind of has some complexities to it. So let me walk through. So broad strokes, if you just look at it, week 1 and week 3 is an opportunity for students to gather together, to grow, and to fellowship. Week 2 and 4 is opportunities for them to serve and interact with the larger congregation. So if you can kind of separate it into that framework, it makes it really easy to understand. We kind of have 4 different nuances that we'll be working through every month. The first week, students will gather together to connect. So they will be placed in their small group, and they will go through games. They'll go through the study and the discussion, all within the confines of their small group. The second week, they'll move into actually serving with their small group. There's a couple different places that we'd love for students to serve that could also allow them the opportunity to interact with their peers and interact with the larger congregation and go to the service as well. And we just think that would be awesome. So obviously there will be kind of some scheduling that goes along that, which is why week 1 goes before week 2, is for them to sit down and kind of talk about, all right, next week, this is what we're going to do when we serve our greater congregation. This is what that will look like. And then week 3, we will be hosting a service to engage students. So this is really where we're going to have a robust teaching and worship experience for students specifically. It's really an opportunity for them to have a teaching that's geared directly towards them and allowing them the space to also respond to it as well. So that will be week 3. We're really excited to even make that the most robust experience possible, because as of right now, because we have the service that comes every week, we're not always able to give it our best effort and energy. And so this will allow us the opportunity to do that. And week 4 is to celebrate. And this is really where we're pushing families to go to church together, for the junior high students to sit alongside you in the row, for you guys to dialogue afterwards about what you're learning and what this means for your family, and even them to ask questions about how you're putting this to practice. Because we believe that junior high students are equipped to really start asking those questions and to challenge us as adults to continue to grow in our own spiritual walk. So we're really excited about this rhythm. We're really excited about this next stage of ministry with you and your family. Just as far as the rollout of this, if you look at the calendar right now, we will be having a service, just our regular junior high gathering at 10 a.m. on October 31st and November the 7th. But on the 14th, which is a second Sunday, we're actually going to really pilot this swerving principle. So they're going to be able to serve together in small groups and possibly even attend the service in small groups. We're really going to try to push that for November the 14th, starting the 14th, and then November the 21st. We'll come back to that 10 a.m. second floor engage gathering, and then the last Sunday of November, really encouraging them to go to service with you wherever you might be traveling Thanksgiving weekend. We really want you to continue to come with your kids to a service. So, as always, please reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns, even if you just want to give some feedback. Yes, I love this. Or I really have some issues with this. We want to know why, and we want to kind of discuss that together. So feel free to reach out to me directly via email, text, phone call. I'm available and kind of created some capacity so we can dialogue through this together. And man, I'm just pumped to be able to continue to serve your junior high students well. So be in prayer as we kind of transition this, and we'll be announcing this to the students this weekend, October 31st. Thanks. See you later. Bye.